Hi, everybody. It's Debra from peoplelovinganimals.com. Today, we're going to do a video about helping dogs separation anxiety, how to teach a dog to stay home alone. This is a very important topic because I really feel bad for dogs who have separation anxiety. And I also feel bad for the owners because I know from personal experience how heartbreaking and upsetting it is to have to leave the house. Obviously, we have to live our lives, we have to go to work. But when it upsets your dog, especially if it's to an extreme, it's just hard. So I had a miniature dachshund named Taz. Here's her picture here on the left. Taz has since passed away, sadly, since I wrote this article for my website. Oh, by the way, we're on my website here, peoplelovinganimals.com. And I wrote this article for my website about dog separation anxiety. So this is where we are. But my little miniature dachshund, Taz, here she is. She had a hard time with separation anxiety. It wasn't severe, but it was enough that it became an issue. And especially when she started to get older, when she became, downright elderly, that's when she really started showing more signs of being upset when I was leaving the house. And I say in my article here, she would actually try to sit on my feet while I was putting my shoes on uh, to try to prevent me from leaving. So back when my little Taz was getting older and she was having problems with dog separation anxiety, I researched the topic and I wrote an article for my website to hopefully help other people with it as well. Now, I want to skip down. I'm going to do this a little backwards because in this article, I'm going to share with you um, several things that can help. But I want to scroll all the way down to the bottom and go over one of the first things first because I do think that it's one of the most important things, and that's pack leader training. And stick with me, please, because once I explain, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. By the way, in the description box to this video, I will give you the link for this article on my website that we're reading from. So you're going to be able to come in here and you're going to be able to read the entire article and click on all the links. I'm going to mention Doggy Dan. Doggy Dan is a professional dog trainer and behavioral specialist. He created a website called the Online Dog Trainer, and it's a video-based dog training website where you get to watch videos of Doggy Dan actually working with dogs and doing training issues. But the reason I want to refer you here and the reason that I want to mention it before I mention any of the other tips that can help your dog with separation anxiety is there's this issue of pack leader training. Now, what I have learned from doing so much research for my website regarding dog training, my own personal experience having been a dog owner since I was a child, and just all the research I've done for my website is pack leader training can really help with just about every dog behavioral issue that you have. Now, let me explain how this relates to dog separation anxiety. First of all, when you hear about dog pack leader training, oh, you got to show your dog you're the pack leader. You got to show him you're the boss. Sometimes people have kind of a negative feeling about that, like it's some sort of, tough guy, macho, dominant, possibly even cruel treatment of the dog. No, that's stupid. It's stupid and it's ineffective. What pack leader training really is, it's simple steps that you can take right in your house with your dog to teach your dog that you're the one in charge, that you're the pack leader. Okay, because as pets, dogs' history is wolves. Their history is a pack kind of mentality. They stick with the pack, they protect the pack, they follow the pack leader. It's kind of in their primal instinct. So it's an important thing to consider. You gotta consider how your dog's brain works when you're dealing with any sort of behavioral issue. So you need to take steps to show your dog that you're the one in charge. For example, your dog needs to know that you are the one in charge of getting food for the two of you, that you're in charge of the house, that you're in charge of the yard, that you're the decision maker. you have to teach your dog that he doesn't have to be the pack leader, that he can count on you to do those things. So, for example, a dog who has a stroke every time the doorbell rings, that's a dog who needs pack leader training because he thinks he has to do something about it. He thinks he has to protect the house. Now, if you had done pack leader training with that dog, the dog would understand that you're in charge of the doorbell. And so when the doorbell rings, instead of your dog having a heart attack, your dog is going to look to you to see what you're going to do about the doorbell. And that's the same with, you're on a walk and people walk up or a dog walks up. Your dog's not going to get aggressive. He's not going to be scared. He's not going to feel like he has to protect you. Somebody walks into the yard. And the same holds true for when you leave the house. If your dog thinks he's the pack leader, if he thinks he has to protect you, or if he thinks that you're not capable of protecting yourself, if you're not showing that, then every time you leave the house, he's going to be anxious. He's going to be anxious for two reasons. One, because you're part of his pack. And when you leave the house, he doesn't know where you are. And, imagine if your, 9-month-old infant left the house without you. I mean, imagine, it's like, where is she? What is she doing? She can't be out there without me. It's that kind of a mentality. That's kind of where the dog is coming from. And the other issue is that they're left home alone and they don't feel confident. They don't feel confident that they can make decisions. They don't feel confident that they can handle things while you're away because they have this huge stress of thinking they're the pack leader. What if the doorbell rings? They're thinking. What if somebody shows up? He's got to protect the house. This is the way a dog thinks. Okay, so the pack leader training, in my mind, is the first and most important step that you should take with your dog if you're having an issue with dog separation anxiety. It's the best thing you can do for your dog overall. And also, if you're having other issues like your dog is excessively barking, if your dog is aggressive, if your dog is barking, if your dog is ripping the couch apart every time you leave, all these sorts of things. A lot of this can be solved with the pack leader training. So I'm going to give you this referral. It's Doggy Dan, the online dog trainer. I'm going to give you a link to get into that website in the description box of this video. Also, I'm going to give you the link to this article so you can click in here and get instant access to Doggy Dan. It is affordable. They give you a $1 3-day trial. For $1, you get 3 whole days. You can go in the website. You can watch the videos. And you can learn a lot. And then they have a monthly subscription, which is $47 a month, and you can cancel that at any time. So you can go in for the $1 for the 3 days, watch some videos, get some help in this issue and any other issues, because he's got more than 250 videos on this website on virtually any dog training issue, any dog behavioral issue you can think of. And then if you need more time, get a month subscription and watch the videos and apply the techniques that are in the website. It's called Doggy Dan's 5 Golden Rules. Okay, that's what you're going to be looking for, pack leader training. And I'm sorry I've taken so much time on this particular issue, but it is very, very important. And I really think that that's something you should do regardless, because it's just going to create a better relationship between you and your dog. So that being said, let's go back to some of the other tips that I did discover while I was researching this topic of dog separation anxiety. Some of the symptoms of dog separation anxiety is drooling, barking, whining, destroying items in your house, scratching the walls and doors, attempting to escape from their crate or from their room. And then, of course, the breaking mommy's heart face when you leave. Causes of separation anxiety. There are some things that we also do, I think, that contribute to dog separation anxiety. One of the things is we make a big fuss whenever we leave the house or whenever we come home. It's like, oh, I'm leaving. Bye-bye. Mommy loves you. And you kiss them 5,000 times or whatever. And it's almost like you're nervous about you leaving. And then when you come home, oh, it's a big to-do. It's a big to-do. And so one of the things that you can do to help reduce this separation anxiety is to really just make your coming and going no big deal. Say goodbye, fill the water dish, give him a pat on the head 5 minutes before you're ready to leave. And then when you're ready to leave, just simply walk out the door. And then when you get home, let him jump and carry on and act like a fool. And I know it's so tempting. You want to smooch him and you want to hug him and be so excited with him. But for the first 5 minutes, just act like nothing's going on. Just casually walk in the door, put your purse down, put your keys away, maybe go to the fridge, get a bottle of pop, whatever, sit down on the couch, and then acknowledge the dog. Do you see what I mean? So that by doing these things, you're coming and going isn't you're showing your dog that you don't think it's any big deal that you're coming and going. You see? So it all kind of goes back to the whole concept we've been talking about is everything is okay. You're in charge. You're okay with your leaving. So he should be. Do you see that sort of mentality? Um, the other thing too is I also observed that Taz's routine made a change in her routine made her separation anxiety worse. I think dogs are like little kids. Little kids need and little kids need a routine. They need a bedtime. Every night after dinner, you do your homework, and then you're allowed to watch TV for an hour, and then it's bedtime. What's bedtime? You brush your teeth, you put your pajamas on, you go down and kiss mom and dad goodnight, you go to bed, you read a story, whatever. Kids need routine. They need to know what to expect next in order for them to be calm and content in their lives. And it's the same is true for dogs. Now, obviously, life is life, and you can't always have the same schedule every day, and things happen. But for the most part, I think it helps dogs with separation anxiety if they do have a routine and they kind of know what to expect. And even bedtime. Your dog should have a bedtime routine. He goes outside and goes pee, maybe gets a treat, gets a drink of water, go to bed. The lights are shut off, whatever. It helps them to have a routine. So you might want to be a little bit more conscious of that. Also, exercise and walks. A dog, a tired dog is a happier dog. A tired dog is going to be more inclined to relax or even fall asleep while you're gone. So make sure your dog is getting regular exercise and walks. If you are leaving the house, if you have time, take them for a few minutes walk before you leave. Let them run off some of that nervous energy. Help them to feel tired so we can try to relax a little bit more. And or even like with Tazzy, I used to spend a few minutes tossing a tennis ball around the living room. She loved to chase a tennis ball, and just to make sure they have exercise, because just like people, if we don't get regular exercise, we tend to be kind of anxious too, kind of nervous, kind of anxious. We're not getting any exercise. And the same is true for dogs. In the article, we talk about how to prevent and reduce a dog's separation anxiety. Um, this starts, I think, when they're a puppy. When the dog is a puppy, you put them in bed and they start crying, and you immediately go to them and try to comfort them. And we do the same with babies. The baby's in their crib crying, you immediately go in, you immediately pick them up, and you need to teach your puppy or your dog or your baby to settle down and entertain themselves for longer and longer periods of time. You need to let the baby cry in the crib for a few minutes. You can't just rush in every single time. They've got to learn to enter. And now, obviously, if the baby's crying too long, you need to go in. You need to check, obviously. And the same is true with the dog. I'm not talking about being foolish here, but I'm just saying you can't meet the dog's every need, pick him up every time he cries, everything. You got to teach them, just like you would a baby, a little at a time, to help them to be patient, help them to be calm, help them to entertain themselves, that sort of thing. And a lot of that comes into play when you're crate training, to try to teach a dog to entertain themselves. The importance of giving your dog confidence. It's hard, especially like with my little dog Taz. First of all, she was such a tiny little thing that, you just wanted to watch out for her. But also, as she got older, I just found myself wanting to help her more and more. And even though that's our natural inclination, especially if you see they're having difficulty, sometimes it can decrease their confidence. Like, for example, I say in my article, if she can walk from the backyard to the house, then I should let her, not carry her. If she can find her way to the food and water bowl and help herself, I need to let her do that, not take the bowl or bring it over to her. And like I said, I was kind of doing these things with Taz as she was getting older. And not that you shouldn't help your dog, and especially if they are getting older and they need help, but just be careful that you're not going overboard, because they do have to have a sense of confidence that they can do things for themselves. So just try to be aware of that. Also, providing comfort for your dog. I always say my dad used to make fun of me, but I will often leave a radio on for my dog when I leave the house. And I think this helps dogs with separation anxiety, because then the sounds of the neighborhood are drowned out. They're not hearing every car door slam. They're not hearing a neighbor's dog barking. They're not hearing every sound. And so if the radio is on, some of the sounds in the neighborhood or outside the house, even a dog barking next door, especially if you live in an apartment building and they can hear knocking or they can hear people walking around. If you have the radio on, it can drown out some of those sounds. It just kind of eliminates some of the triggers that might be, even contributing to the separation anxiety. There's a couple of products I found as well. This one is called Adaptil. Now, this actually mimics a female dog's pheromones, and the scent provides a calmness and reassurance for dogs. It smells like their mommy. And that's the concept with this. It comes in a collar. I bought one of these collars for Taz. It puts off this pheromone that apparently is calming. It also has a spray that you can spray their beds or your car if you're going on a trip or whatever. And it also comes in a room diffuser. So it's just meant to help overall anxiety and separation anxiety. So you can go ahead and try that. There's a link in the article, and I'll also give you a link in the bottom of this video for this. There's also this product called Petcom. It's a safe, non-addictive, natural remedy containing 100% hemopathic ingredients, especially selected to temporarily relieve symptoms of nervousness, helping to calm your pet and promote a balanced mood. Again, this is something that you can try, and I would be interested to know. I didn't actually try this one with Taz, but I did find out about it. So if you could come back and comment, I would really appreciate your input on that. And then we're down to the bottom of the article where we talk about Doggy Dan and getting help with the pack leader training. To really, all these tips that we talked about all through the article are things that you can do to help the problem while it exists. And in my mind, the pack leader training is how you solve the problem. Okay. So while you're doing the pack leader training, while you're watching Doggy Dan's videos, while you're taking the steps with the 5 golden rules to help your dog to learn that he's the pack leader, the other tips in this article will help you get through. I just also mentioned, if you're familiar with Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, he has a show on TV. He does have a website called Caesar's Way, and you'll see there's a link in the article here. And he also gives some guidance about dog separation anxiety. Now, I tend to agree with Doggy Dan's teaching dog training techniques more than Caesar. I think Caesar Millan can be a bit harsh. I don't want to say too much about that because I'm not knowledgeable enough about him to really give an opinion. But just if I had my druthers, I prefer Doggy Dan's methods. But again, it's just another resource that I'm giving you to get information, and then you do what's best for you and your dog. Now, a couple of things before we end this video. Like I said, in the description box, well, first of all, if this video has helped you, I'd appreciate it if you would give it a like. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, People Loving Animals. I do videos like this all the time. Also, if you would please share my website, share this YouTube channel with fellow dog lovers, especially if they're having a problem with their dog. I have videos about dog aggression, dog training. There's hundreds, literally hundreds of articles on my website for all kinds of issues relating to dogs. So please share the information if you know someone who's having a particular behavioral issue with their dog. In the description box of this video, I'm going to give you a link for this article that we've been reading from. I'm going to give you a link to go ahead and do the $1 3-day trial with Doggy Dan. I'm going to give you the links to the products that we talked about. I'll give you that I mentioned here in the article. I'm going to give you a link to Caesar's Way. And I'm also going to give you a link to subscribe to my dog lovers email list. As I said, I do videos all the time. I've done hundreds of articles regarding the care and treatment and training of dogs. And if you sign up for my email list, about every 5 to 7 days, you get a new article or a new video from me, all on the topic of dogs. And so I would love to have you on board. So go ahead and subscribe for that. By the way, if you do subscribe using the link that I put in this video box, in the description box for this video, you will receive 5 free dog training videos from Doggy Dan. So that's kind of fun. Last, before we sign off, I donate to animal charities. I do make money on my website. It's why I'm able to do this for a living. I am an affiliate, for example, for Doggy Dan. If you decide to purchase a monthly membership to the dog training website, I will get a commission for that. I do get a commission for these products that I'm referring to. I'm an affiliate for Amazon, and so I'm giving you the links to go ahead and buy these, and I do make money. That is how I make a living. I am an internet marketer. This is one of my websites. This one is my passion, peoplelovinganimals.com. I use it to help animals. I also do things for cats as well. You can see in my menu here, I do a lot of different things. And the fact that I'm able to make commission on the products and services that I'm recommending to people is how I make a living. And I do give 10% of all of the commissions that I earn on this website to animal charities. And if you go to this article and you click here, or if you even go to the homepage of my website, peoplelovinganimals.com, you'll see a list of the animal charities that I donate to. So if you would please just pass that along. It's lots of great information. It's my passion to try to help people to be a better pet owner so that people are happier, dogs are happier, cats are healthier. I really hope that my website helps, and I really hope that this article has helped you. I know that separation anxiety is a terrible problem. It's a very upsetting problem for you, and it's a very upsetting problem for your dog. So I hope that you'll take the steps that we talked about in this article, and I hope that it helps you. And please, I would appreciate it so much if you would come back and comment and tell me how you and your dog made out. And of course, also ask me questions if you like. I will see your questions and I will answer. So again, this is my website, peoplelovinganimals.com. My name is Debra. And again, thanks so much for visiting. Bye-bye.